What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? All right. What is up, everyone? What is up? How's it going? How is it going? Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. So, today's topic is what weapons should they add to Fallout? Personally, I'd like to see some more energy weapons. I think it's a great concept, but the main thing that I would like to see is maybe not adding a new update to Fallout 76 and making it prefix rolls on weapons, and maybe us being able to re-roll the weapons, because that makes zero sense, right, guys? I mean, to me, that doesn't make any sense. So, not sure what 76 was thinking on that one. I'm not gonna lie, not sure what was going through the old cranium on that one. But that was a terrible idea. And yeah, they definitely need to possibly add that and fix it, because the hunter scythe, literally the new season weapon, you're not even able to roll it, which is, I'm not gonna lie, that has definitely pushed me away from the new season of Fallout 76, very much so. But hopefully they change something, fix something. Who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do? But I've heard they plan on changing some things, but we haven't heard anything yet. So who knows? Who knows? By the way, you guys like my pile of burritos I got here? Yeah. Oh, oh, they're hot. Very hot. They just came out the oven hot. But yeah, guys, I mean, personally, I think the weapons that they've added to 76 was a terrible idea. Not sure why I have prefixes, but I was really hoping to make that hunter head scythe bloodied, because I know it had a bleed, which was sick. Of course, a bleed's always sick. But yeah, they need to definitely fix that. I don't know what they were thinking. Like the Z63 Zwander. Like the moment I got that weapon and seen it was a thing, I was like, yo, this is gonna be sick. I can't wait to roll this thing and bloodied. And then I went to craft it because I had the plans for it and it said blueprint. I was like, blueprint? You're telling me you can't craft the thing? There's only one in the game? That's not even a new weapon. That's just BS. Like what were they thinking? What were they doing, man? Makes zero sense. Zero sense. Zero. 0 cents. No, the scythe cannot be bloodied. It can only be it gets this is the rolls on it. This is the rolls on it. It has 50% damage to humans, weapon speed, and 90% weight. That's what the new season weapon has. That's the new season weapon. Yeah. Yeah. Ridiculous. Disgusting. Terrible. And then the Z63 Zwander. You can only get that thing with 40% more damage. I mean, 50% more damage when they're 40% health, less than that. And then the power attack, I think it has power attack damage increase. And I forget what the last one is, but you can't even roll it. That's the only one in the game. You cannot do anything else with it. Mind blown. Mind blown how terrible of an idea that was. Like they didn't want to make it broken. Okay, but you're adding weapons into the game, and when they're prefixes, what is the point? Like that's completely getting like destroying mid maxing in the new update. There's nothing else to do with your class now at this point. There's nothing, and they didn't even like nothing. You like my burritos? I do have a bunch of burritos here. I made almost the whole bag. They're hot too. They're pretty good though. But yeah, they literally ruined it. Like, there's nothing to look forward to the new update, like weapons wise. There's nothing. Like, we have two new events, right? We have the boss, which is already not, pretty dull because I don't know. I feel like they could have done better with the they had a huge opportunity with it being an arena to add like phases to it. Why didn't they add phases? It would have been a great concept, but I mean, it was all right. Right? I gave it a 6.9 out of 10. But the event, that new event was terrible. Literally terrible. You don't get much XP. You don't get very good plans. You get blueprints. You don't get the weapons. You get blueprints. Terrible. What were they thinking? What were they thinking naming them blueprints? Why would we want a blueprint, a schematic of the plans in our base and not be able to craft them? What are you thinking? Hello? That makes 0 sense. 0 sense. Yeah, why did we need a flare gun? What was that about? A flare gun? I bet you can't even roll the flare gun either. I bet there's no rolls on it. I bet it's prefixed with lights up the sky, 90% weight reduction. Oh, thank goodness my flare gun weighs 0.05. Thank God. That's what we needed. That's what that hunter had. Like, not they made the rolls on that thing horrific too. 50% damage to humans. Are you serious? Does the loss count as humans? That's what I'm curious about. I wonder if they count as humans. Is that why they did that? If they don't count as humans and they count as ghouls, by golly, oh gosh, the worst. It's single handedly 0 out of 10 season pass. It's terrible. Yeah, for what could have been exactly. Like, what were they thinking? Doesn't make no sense to me. Yeah, thank goodness. Like, I'm in trouble, guys. At least I could shoot a flare in the sky. Silly. It's silly. That's what it is. It's literally and silly. I'll tell you what, though. These burritos are pretty good. I hope it doesn't sound like ASMR, by the way. It doesn't, does it, guys? You guys can't hear me, like, eating it? Oh, yeah, they're taquitos. Sorry. You can hear me eating it? Here, let me get up in there then. I mean, whisper for you? I don't know about that one. But, anyways, yeah, like, it's crazy that this is the topic of the podcast that was chosen because these are the worst weapons I have ever seen added into a game ever. Like, what were they thinking? You can't add prefix rolls into a new season after not having content added for the last 6 years and make them prefix non rerollable weapons. Y'all hear that nice crunch? But anyways, if anybody in the audience wants to join, talk, feel free to request. I'll happily get you in here. I wouldn't mind having somebody else to complain with. I can hear you digesting. I don't know about that one. But anyways, weapons that I would like to see added. Plasma guns. More plasma guns. More options. I think there should be a uh plasma fat man. That would be sick. Could you imagine? How would they do it, you ask? Well, imagine plasma grenades, but in a contact to the ground form. Like, what are the contact grenades, I think they're called, where they explode on impact? We're eating chicken taquitos. A baseball launcher? That would be sick, actually. I don't know about a mini nuke minigun. I think that's a terrible idea. But yeah, they got cheese in them. Yeah. I have I've never had the mic this close before, so I don't even know what it sounds like. I've never I've never actually done it. But I'm eating some chicken taquitos, stuff like that. No gun would be fun too, depending. I have alerts turned off, Ant, when I having those on the stream today. I can't believe you came in here to try and ruin my podcast. I can't believe you. I can't believe you, man. Anyways, weapons I would like to see added. Plasma launcher would be sick. You're good, Ant. I'm just messing with you, dude. I think they need to add more aspects of the minigun. I mean, they have like the Gatling laser and everything, but to me it just doesn't make much sense, you know? It just doesn't have a very good wraparound kind of aspect, if that makes sense. Because it's an energy weapon, but why don't they have like lasers? You know, like it felt like a Gatling laser. Imagine like it shoots like 4 lasers. That's like a continuous laser. That would be sick. Like a circle laser, you know, and it connects. Maybe it even like connects into one beam, and you see it come out the gun as 4, but it connects into a single beam, and it's like just beaming them. That would be pretty sick. But I don't know. You never know, man. Yeah, Tesla minigun would be cool too. Like that would be OPAF. Maybe they could, lower the damage of the arc a little bit. I think that would make more sense. But who knows, man? I think I think Fallout needs to focus on Fallout 76 and add more content to it. I don't think we need to do Fallout 5, Ken. I think they just need to actually focus on 76 and add more stuff to it. Because if you're going to have a subscription based game, you need to be adding subscription based content. As in, yearly, we should have new expansions. 6 years to add one map expansion is ridiculously terrible. Like, I know this is like their first MMO game, right? No, wait. What about Elder Scrolls Online? How long has that been out? It's been a while. Yeah, they know they just got lazy, man. They got lazy. But I gave the rating on Skyline a 7.5 out of 10. But with all the new info that I have received about the weapons and figured out, I'm actually taking it down to a 4.6 out of 10. Very dull content. The content was decent. I mean, not dull, but the dull part is the part of lacking. We lacked consistency in content. And these weapons that they added in the season pass, quite literally the worst season pass I have ever seen in my life. And the fact that you included this into a map expansion makes zero sense. I kind of understand. Maybe they made it like that because they added a bunch of new weapons. But that headhunter scythe is the worst thing I have ever seen in my entire life. And the moment that I crafted that thing, I closed out of the game and I stopped playing. And I don't plan to get on for a while again. I am going to be taking a break for a while until I see more about what they're doing. Will that happen? Definitely not. They never, ever, ever update us on anything with the game. They're always taking their time and waiting until the last minute to announce things because they don't know themselves what they're doing because they want to get as many and much money as they can in the time that they release it, which to me doesn't make any sense. Like they didn't even have a like the fact they didn't charge for this is surprising. I expected them to charge like $20 to get this expansion. I'm not gonna lie, but how would they have done that? They could have locked down the area uh, through an instance. It's the best way to go. Like if they wanted to, they could have locked it down with an instance and blocked people without the expansion from going into the new area or something. But I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't at this point. But if they did that, oh golly, oh gosh, it would have been a nightmare. 2 hours of content, guys. Watch my latest YouTube video, and you'll see just how long it took me to beat the game. It took 4 hours in total. That's including doing multiple events and slowly taking my time through dialogue, bugs, everything. It's just lacking, man. It just lacked it. Like it was very lacking in content. The new weapon was the Hunter Head Scythe, which is the new season weapon, and I did not ever expect them to do that. Like the fact that they locked it as a prefix weapon, with no way of re-rolling it, is insane. That is the silliest, stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. The weapon has 3 of the worst rolls I've ever seen. That's the problem. It's terrible. If you have to grind for a weapon that much, daily, weekly to get it, it should not be a hard stuck weapon that is unrollable. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? The moment I did it, I instantly logged out of the game and was like, nope, that's it for me. Like, no sense. Made no sense. So, anyways, I don't know. A plasma launcher would be sick. I'm kind of hoping they add more Fallout 4 DLCs. I think that would be great. But what are they working on right now? Have they even talked about what they're doing? What are they doing right now? Like I haven't really heard anything else. Yeah, it had 90% weight reduction, guys. The scythe had 90% weight reduction. Yo, I just have to say this. I have alerts off, but Ken, thank you so much for the sub, man. I appreciate that. I try to turn off alerts off, but I can't ignore sub. Thank you, man, so much for the sub. I appreciate that. Anyways, what were they thinking? Made no sense. What are they doing? What are they working on right now? Have we heard anything about what's new? What they're gonna do? I haven't heard anything. They announced Skyline, okay, but I guess the new Doom. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like the new Doom will be sick. I won't lie, but we need Fallout. We need to know what you're gonna do with 76. This whole ghoul thing in a year from now, that's ridiculous. We do not have a year to wait. We waited 6 years for this, and you disappointed us. This was disappointing. You cannot add 2 hours of content into an MMO game with a subscription and expect people to keep paying for Fallout first when you're barely adding anything. Makes zero sense. 2 hours of content? Seriously? But the season pass is content. Okay, you mean the weapon that you get that's that's terrible? What, and you're the only thing that you're looking forward to now in the season pass? There's 0 mods with this weapon. It is just a base weapon. You can add sharpen to it. That's it. That's the only mod for it. And then you don't get that through seasons. You get that from regular scrapping of the weapon of scythes. There's nothing else. There's only cosmetics. That's it. That's it. Cosmetics. Like, I don't know. Anyways, if anybody in the audience in the Discord wants to join and talk, feel free. Talking about myself can get a little boring, so Wouldn't mind anybody joining that can and wants to. Um, but yeah, I mean, a plasma launcher again would be sick, but I think at this point they're not going to be adding any new weapons. But the things that I would like to see is more alien guns. I think we could have had more alien aspects into the game, for sure. Like having the alien guns are terrible too. Like I got the disintegrator, I got 2 shot on it, right? I even rolled a bloodied with it. It is terrible for how rare the ammo is with that thing. Like it's terrible. It's literally terrible. Like the alien blaster, I see some people running it, but I don't know what they're running. Right? It's a pistol gun, I assume. It it's just not good. It's not good at all. And lever actions, any type of gun that is like a single shot is terrible. Rifleman guns, terrible because of the fire rate. They need to increase the base damage of rifle guns. A rifle should be hitting for like 3,000. I hate to say it, but for how slow the fire rate is in a single round, it needs to be hitting for 3,000 because that reduces the DPS so much. Them only hitting for like 1,500, that's not very good. For a one for a fifth for 1,500 every second, that's terrible. That's terribly low. That's why commando guns are broken because I'm hitting for 1,100 damage every 0.3 seconds. So in a second, I'm doing like 6,000 damage with my railway. Like that's like they need to rework guns, especially shotguns too. You have to be so close with a shotgun, so close to do damage. Why are they hitting like babies? Why are they hitting for diaper damage? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. It's like I'm hitting them with a wet diaper, a wet paper bag, and I'm right up in their face, and I'm constantly taking damage. It doesn't make any sense. Fallout shotgun should be hitting for like 4,000. Like what? I don't know. I don't know. Definitely need to they need to remake some guns for sure. They don't have a balancing team. That's the problem. They literally it's been proven that they don't have a balancing team. Who's balancing the game? Because we've never had a balance update in our life. We still have legacy weapons somehow, and that was removed years ago. And somehow they still haven't removed those. It's not hard. Like what are they doing? And these mods, these crazy mods that make why is someone able to shoot a mini nuke 100 mini nukes in 1 second? Why is that in the game? Why was that ever a thing? We want to allow modders to be able to free mod the game. No, you mean people to abuse the game and ruin it? That doesn't make any sense. Like there's mods like changing the audio and maybe making it easier to lockpick, and then there's stuff that completely breaks the game. That's one of the things to break the game. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, they should have added new roles too. Why did we get no new roles? Like Furious should be doing more damage. It makes no sense that a weapon increases by 5%. 9 times 5. What is that? 45? I think 9 times 5 is 45. I'm pretty sure. Off the top of my head. You have to shoot 9 bullets to do 45% more damage. Meanwhile, there's a roll that's a literal roll that does called bloodied. Oh, the bloodied that does 95%. That doesn't make any sense. Furious should be at least 80%. And it should be 10% a shot. And then once you shoot 8 shots, you're doing 80% minimum. That it should be even better than that, in my opinion. I think it should go up to 100%. But makes no who did these rolls, man? They make 0 sense. The only one that makes sense is instigating. But even instigating, I feel like instigating should be like 120% even. 100% in this day and age and how far and we've come in the game is like nothing. Especially against bosses. Oh, you shoot 1 bullet. Oh, well, now you do no extra damage at all. Maybe it should be 100%, and then after that, it does 50%. That would make more sense. Oh yeah, they definitely favor bloody build because everything boosts. They have so many damage buffs. That's why there shouldn't be a weapon that does 95% when you already have adrenal reaction, you have nerd rage, you have other ones that I'm clearly missing, but those are the two main ones off the top of my head that I can think of that are already insanely good. Makes zero sense. Yeah, but you die in 2 seconds. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because everything's dying immediately. Anyways, you see, I'm sure everybody here has seen me running around. I am killing everything in 0.2 seconds. Nothing is even able to look at me. The moment they start their sound effect dialogue, they have already died. They're already falling to the ground on my screen, and they're still talking. Uh, yeah, I'm talking. It looks like it's working on my end. Logan, you might want to restart your Discord. Yeah, it's definitely working. I'm looking at it. It's working. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, mutations, man. Makes zero sense. Yeah, the community has better ideas than a pro dev team. Exactly. Like, if you put me as a dev, I'm telling you, I could make this game. I would love to be a dev for Fallout 76 because I am actually working on an MMORPG game myself, and I have done a little bit of balancing, nothing crazy, but I know what. Like, I've played MMOs my entire life since I was 11 years old. I played MMOs for 13 years minimum. I know what needs balanced and what you can change just by playing the game. It's like they don't play the game. That's the problem. They do not play their game apparently. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? I don't know, man. Makes zero sense to me. You know what does make sense though? These amazing chicken taquitos. That's what makes sense. Oh, let's talk about this. This ghoul race they're adding. I thought we were already ghouls. Wasn't that the point of mutations? Like, technically we were a ghoul? You could still be a ghoul and not look all diseased and such. That's been proven. Like, what is this whole ghoul thing they're doing? Makes zero sense to me. I know they want to add a different race is the whole thing behind it, but what? I don't know. Yeah, makes zero sense. Like, I thought mutations was already that us being ghouls, but we still didn't. We just didn't look like ghouls. I thought it wasn't the whole thing behind it. Can't hear you in Discord. Well, shoot. There, I made a new one. See if that works. Is it cosmetic only? What's that? Yeah, why can't we be super mutants? That would be sick. Imagine they add a super mutant that has like melee buffs. That would make more sense. Like Frank Horgan kind of things, you know? Wouldn't that'd be sick AF. But instead we're getting a ghoul aspect, which we already have. What? Makes no sense to me. It's
Yeah,
good
I
now.
think you
Good.
definitely have a point there with the super mutant, because like, how are you gonna?
Hello?
I mean, yeah, hello, hello.
Wait, I can't hear you
Um,
either. What is happening?
can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
This thing's bugged. So I guess I'll just talk to myself and you guys can just chat or something. I don't know what's happening. I'm not gonna lie. Is anybody else? Oh wait. Oh no, you were talking. I think it's because my sound was off. Come back in. Hello?
All right, hello, hello.
It's because my chat. It's because my headset went dead because I wasn't hearing any audio for so long. Maybe I should
Oh,
add some background music. That's a great idea.
yeah. So I think you definitely have a point there. Like ghouls instead of super and no super mutant option seems a little silly because you could do like a thing with the super mutants where you go and get like an FEV and like use it on yourself in a way. But how are they gonna make the ghouls work? Like, is it gonna be like, oh, you have to hit this radiation threshold, or
Oh, it's gonna be a
there's gonna be
quest
like
line.
a choice? Well, I know it's gonna be like a quest line, but like, how are they going to make it work specifically? Is like kind of what I'm saying.
To me, the only thing that makes sense is it's probably going to be a level requirement, and at that level, you're going to be able to pick to stay human or become a ghoul, and then it's going to start a long quest line to unlock it. Typical MMO things. But ghouls was the last thing I think they should have done. I don't know.
Yeah, like what would the perks even be? Maybe like a bit quicker regeneration, like
Immune to
I know
radiation. I
regeneration
mean,
is
that's
kind of thing,
definitely
like
the main one.
radiation.
And
Yeah,
if they're not immune to radiation, there's a serious problem, and they are going to screw up big time because that's like the main thing that ghouls are notorious for. But who knows anymore? And like healing from rads, that would be sick too. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you can't eat food anymore, or like if you eat radiated food, you actually gain extra health? That would be pretty cool.
oh
But
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think I think someone made a good point. I think I saw this a while ago that there's probably gonna be like specific perk cards that you can only use whenever you are a ghoul, like either legendary or regular perk cards.
Yep, there will be. I think there's going to
So
be a whole new perk card system.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a really interesting thing, but I don't think they should have done ghouls.
Super mutant was a great idea. That would have been great for melee builds because melee builds are already lacking in some aspects. But imagine a super mutant build with like guns too. What would the guns be? Like, I don't know, only heavy guns, right? Imagine you're able to like run faster with a heavy gun or something. You can reload faster because you're, a freaking unit. Yeah. Instant 7 strength, yeah.
Yeah, but also how would that would be kind of interesting too, because don't like super mutants have like special armor? I mean, outside like power armor.
Oh yeah, there'd
So do
have
you
to
think
be
maybe there'd
some
have to be
type
like
of,
a whole
yeah,
nother armor system? Yeah.
that would be cool. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Me personally. I think you should be able to
And
find
that
different kinds of armor. Think about in MMO how you can find like mage armor, warrior armor, etc. I mean, it's gonna be like, it's RNG, this and that. Like if there's other items thrown into the system, but I think it'll be cool. It'll make it a little slower, and at the same time, it'll make it more grindy and more of an MMO. That would be sick, actually.
yeah.
Or like
They
just like the start of the game where you can be a specific different. Like you could spawn as a super mutant, you spawn as a ghoul, and like you watch yourself become a ghoul or something. That'd be cool, like a cool animation in the game. You come out like there's like a ghoul vault, and then a super mutant. Of course, you've always been like in the. Isn't that the FEV virus? I think it is. Isn't that how super
uh,
mutants were made? The FEV virus.
the forced evolutionary virus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty cool coming out of a freaking like you break out of the lab. Like that'd be a cool quest line, man.
Yeah, that would be a great quest line for sure.
See you, Kenobi.
So Fallout 76 before Fallout 1. Fallout 76 is the earliest I think of like any Fallout media. Well, I mean besides like obviously like Fallout 4's beginning cutscene and like all like the pre-war shit, but like
Yeah, Fallout
just
76
saying,
is very early on in the
yeah, I
nukes.
think it's yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 28 years after the bombs, something like that.
Yeah, something
Like
like
it's
that.
really recent after. I
Yeah,
think
there's
Fallout 1 is actually one of the later ones, but Sorry.
You're good. There's so much potential with an MMO game that they're missing out on. They're trying to stick to too basic of like Fallouts. They need to expand
Yeah.
way beyond this. Like,
I think I think their whole problem is that when Fallout 76 released a lot of, well, I don't know if it necessarily when it released. I think people still say it now that it's a good game, but it's not a good Fallout game. So like I think they're trying to stick to it being like strictly just Fallout, Fallout, Fallout. Like they should definitely branch out more because they already have stuff that the other Fallouts haven't even like touched on. So I think like they should add like what you're saying, like different kinds of armors, different kinds of like more builds, like a whole bunch of stuff that like an MMO would have throughout like the entire game. I don't see why not.
I mean, yeah, exactly. They need to act like it's an MMO game, you know? They already have the actual meeting up people experience. The PvP system needs a rework too, for sure. I feel like it should be more skilled. Like, just this is what you do. In PvP, reduce all damage by 95%. Boom! Instantly already takes more skill and makes more sense.
I mean, I don't know. It's just Bethesda, really. They're
Mm-hmm.
an interesting company.
Yeah, they've proven that many times.
I think I mean, I don't like I again, I like Fallout 3 personally more than New Vegas, but like this kind of showed it. Like they made Fallout 3. They got this. I mean, they still had the training wheels on. They were trying to figure out because they just like bought the like the rights to Fallout at this point. But
Mm-hmm.
they worked on Fallout 3 and they basically told Obsidian Entertainment, "Oh, try and make a better game. Here you go." And they made Fallout New Vegas. They had a bunch of new stuff. They added endings. They added all this stuff, and they did it. I think in like they did it what like 2 years. They did it like really quick for the time.
Yeah, and this is what they came out with in 7 months. Is crazy. Like, the world design was great. It wasn't bad. That's the one thing that Skyline Valley had running for, but everything else was just terrible. Especially the weapon system, terribly done.
And they released it buggy too. Again,
I mean, that happens. That's
that
like every
happens, yeah.
MMO
But
will always have bugs on release because it's hard to balance out the bugs. Man, many
like
different instances more so, but
when I was,
that dialogue bug was
yeah,
oh
it got me real bad. I think I said this in the chat. I was fighting the last guy. I was just so I finished the boss fight, right? And I go up and it's like choose his fate. I go up, I start talking to him. It takes a second for the dialogue to pop up. He does his like animation where he starts rising and then he drops down, he just starts attacking me and then just walks away and leaves me in like unleavable dialogue. Had to completely restart my game.
yeah, that's terrible. I mean, it's like that quest that I did 3 times in a row. It's in the latest YouTube video. Go check it out. But I see people talking about transportation system. Personally, I think the fast travel system is great. We don't really need increased transportation, especially with the mutations that we have. They're crazy. So I can get around. I can probably go from one side of the map in like 10 minutes with what I have now, just running. So I don't know. And plus, it would be have to
Um,
for cars and stuff like that. It'd have to be a way bigger of a world, like way bigger.
so to present stuff in the chat, I don't think it was necessarily. I don't think New Vegas was necessarily rushed. From what I know, it was like really buggy. Like it wasn't like the greatest game on release, but they fixed it pretty quick. So, but I don't think that was related at all to it being rushed. I think it's the fact that the studio that worked on it, Obsidian, just actually had passion for the project. Like they got it out like in a timely manner. But like not Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 76 definitely was rushed, and that's probably why they're so behind. Like what we said on the last podcast.
Yeah, they're very behind. Very, very, very behind. Like, and with the subscription too, this game is making more money than all of their other ones. like by far. Like
Oh yeah.
it's not even close. I don't know what they're doing.
I think one of the worst decisions they ever made was, I mean, I guess it kind of helps on console a little bit, but their whole creation club for Fallout 4 was just a terrible decision. Like they could just add that to the base game, but they're putting just in-game content that's just mods that you could probably get for free, like honestly,
Huh.
and they could add into the game. They already have the stuff to add them into the game, and they decide to put it behind a paywall. Like they have the ability to add stuff, they just don't. They just don't like doing it sometimes.
Or
Like it,
like kind of how
like
Fortnite pays their creators to make stuff too. I
yeah,
don't know.
like what's crazy too is that the new update they added to Fallout 4 with where they added like the XO2 power armor and the Hellfire power armor.
Yeah,
All
a
of
little bit.
that was already in the Creation Club. Like I purchased that stuff in the Creation Club before the update even came out.
Mm.
Like, and they just decided to add it later for some unknown reason. They added like a really short quest line. They didn't even add a whole lot.
That's the worst
I'm not
thing
quite
about it.
sure.
All these new updates they always do. The quest lines are always like terribly rushed and short. Like it makes no sense at all. I mean,
That was
this is
never
the
good.
worst one I've ever seen. Like,
I mean,
jeez,
it was somewhat enjoyable, but they made it way too short and way
way
too
too short. What is all these other
yeah,
locations for? They have like
yeah.
60% of unused locations for potential quests. Why is there no side quests? Where are the side quests?
There should be some. I mean, maybe they'll add some more down the line, but they're probably just gonna be like one-off little like one side quest that you go do. It's gonna probably be like a fetch quest for like this useless item too.
Every item in this patch was useless. Is there a single thing that was actually like good and like could be used in every class or every build more so?
Um,
Like
every
nothing.
build. I heard the railway rifle was good in the beta test, but then they nerfed it like
Yeah,
real
the
heavy.
bloody. It was bloodied because
Yeah,
bloodied's
it
insanely
was.
broken and should be nerfed. Or more so, all the other ones should be buffed. No sense. No sense. They need to completely rework the weapon system and rolls. Makes zero sense. Like,
And the fact that they, sorry,
you're good.
um, but they like wasn't there like talk about there being 4-star and they didn't end up even adding that?
Yeah, what? Why? Okay, we have been on 3 stars since release. Why is there no 4 star by now? At least. At least. Why are we still on 3 star? I
Like they,
thought for sure we would have a 4 star. This was their first ever map expansion. I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have 4 stars because that makes perfect sense. It's been 6 years. No way that we're staying on 3 stars still. Nope.
yeah, for
Nope.
sure. They could have added so much stuff too with the 4-star. They could have added like so many cool roles like weapon buffs and stuff like that. They could have used that honestly to balance a lot of the weapons or at least improve some of the weapons. They could have used it to make some like melee builds better or like some heavy gunner builds, like try and put them on par with like the bloody builds. Well, I mean, I don't think they're ever going to do that, but
Yeah, I think
they
Bloody
could
needs
have.
to stay where it's at and everything else needs a buff.
Yeah, for
Instigating,
sure.
that is an execution aspect kind of weapon. It should not be, or not instigating. What's the one? What's the name of the role with the 50% damage at 40% health? Is that
Executioners.
executioner? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
That needs to be way higher. An execution type weapon should not be less than a bloodied weapon overall ever. Like I don't know if they've ever played an MMO, but I've played a lot of MMOs and no execution type weapon has a base damage of all the other roles uh in its main like aspect. It makes zero sense. 50%. And Furious needs reworked. That should be over 100% after a certain amount of bullets. Instigating should also have like technically a second roll. Should be 100% full health and then 50% or 40% after that. Um, this whole like the class stuff, I think the class rolls are ridiculously stupid. That should be an armor thing. That should be a roll in armor. We should not have a weapon that is 50% damage to humans, 50% damage to ghouls. That should not be a roll on weapons. That should be a armor type roll. And if we added fourth rolls, guess what the fourth roll could be for armor? Increasing damage to certain creatures. That should not be on a weapon. Makes no sense.
I think that Adam has a good point in the chat. I think that like what he's saying has a lot of weight behind it. You should be able to, in some way, like, get something special where you can re-roll the specific stars. Like I'm not saying like it should just be like modules. Like you should be able to like it should be a little bit harder to get.
It should
Whatever
cost more
is.
modules, but it should be an option. It makes no sense. Oh, I was saying that the other day. Why? It should cost 6 modules to reroll 1. And if you want to roll 3 randoms, it should be 4 overall. 6 for the first star, 3 for the second star, and then 1 module for the third star, because the third star is always useless. And then 4 modules still for random. For the random all 3, just to start out. Doesn't make sense. Anyways.
Yeah. Then like I don't know what they're doing. Like, if I'm being honest, man, like, they need to fix.
They're not working on the small things. The small things like that are what matters big time. That is a big time thing, because that would make it more beneficial for lower levels too. There's no reason for lower levels to even be looking into that stuff. I think it would be cool if lower levels, like while you're leveling, you should be able to roll on things and not worry about, oh, I got a crappy roll early, so now it doesn't matter because it's on a different weapon. And also, you should be able to upgrade the weapon, your level of weapons, too. If you accidentally craft a level 35, I think you should be able to craft it up to a 45. Or, I mean, upgrade it more so. I don't know.
They need to focus a lot on the weapon and armor system.
Yeah, big time. So, we should have never had damage type to creatures on weapons as a first star roll. That should have never been a thing. They should have added more different types of rolls.
Like maybe like a 3-star rule, but not first star.
Like every other aspect of a game, like armor has had that, or like we have mutant reduction or whatever, but there should also be like a mutant. What if you could have like a vendor that sells specific legendaries, like super mutant slaying vendor, whatever. I'm just like thinking, of course it'd be better names, but like a vendor that sells armor that increases the damage you do to mutants and also reduces the damage you take. And then have a whole area that is super mutant related. They should, like, I don't know. I'm just thinking more very MMO-y.
Yeah, I think this person in 7 chat, they're too worried about the new Elder Scrolls. I think I feel like there's some weight behind that, but I don't think it's necessarily like just the new Elder Scrolls, like specifically. I mean, I think I said this in the last podcast too, but like they're working on an entirely new engine for it, and they're definitely taking their sweet time with it. I mean, it's a good thing that they're making a new engine, I suppose, but because they can do all these little tweaks, because they do all these open worlds. But
no, they do not need a new engine. They need to do like Unreal Engine does and make an engine and just upgrade it and change it as it goes. Why are they making new engines for different games? You shouldn't need to do that. If you have an asset location, more so assets to use, you wouldn't need to do that. You don't need to make a new engine every single game that you're making.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a fair point that you just made.
Yeah, why aren't they using Unreal Engine? Like, who cares? Like, give them a little money, help support the project, and just use Unreal Engine. That's why all these games are taking so dang long. Is because they keep making a new engine and starting from scratch on these freaking games. Makes 0 sense.
Yeah,
But
I don't know, but they're like really deep in this engine. They're already they're focused on the wrong things, definitely. Like they don't need a new engine, but they're doing it, and they don't show any signs of switching.
that's every single game they've done. They
Yeah,
always make a new engine because they don't have any type of. They don't have. What's the word? They don't have
it's
their own upgradable. I don't know. I can't think of the word.
yeah.
Location stuff.
It's also the only reason they're not why they're not like making Fallout 5 yet, because they have to wait for them to finish making their engine so they can release Elder Scrolls 6 and get that game made, and then they can work on Fallout 5. At least that's what Todd Howard said. Is that they had to wait like until Elder Scrolls 6.
Well,
They need to.
what's taking so long with that too? Jesus. I know it takes time, but it's because they're working on other BS that they don't want to announce just in case. Like Starfield. What the? I feel like Starfield was like out of left field. Like, what the hell was that about? We didn't hear anything about it until the last like 6 months of development.
Yeah, here. Let me look something up actually. Um, teaser. Yeah, the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser came out 6 years ago. Like their announcement.
So right around Fallout 76.
Yeah. Oh,
Who
not
knows,
quite
man?
sure what happened.
Yeah, I've heard it even before then. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Elder Scrolls Online was probably around that time too. They had a lot of games come out that year, or more so, two very big games. But yeah, they're very rushy on their stuff for sure. Oh yeah, I'm expecting another 2 years minimum before we get another Fallout. But I mean, they take all this time to perfect things, and they just don't actually properly do what they say they're gonna do.
And
Ever.
and not to mention as well, like I don't know if it's Todd Howard who's on the team. I'm not trying to like point fingers, don't get me wrong. But
Vote him out.
like
I said this earlier. Get him out of here.
but get them out. Yeah.
Like they need to be
Whoever.
in a circle, and they need to all be looking at Todd and be like, "Get out of here. Get him out of
I don't
here."
e- Yeah, because I don't even know if it's Todd or who it is. It might be Todd, but I'm pretty sure if it is, we should see some improvements after Elder Scrolls 6. Because Todd said, I'm pretty sure that he's leaving Bethesda or he's going to be rethinking his retirement after Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. So if he does leave, yeah, it might be Todd. I don't know exactly,
We can
but
only hope. But this, you're saying improvements, but they need to have a team working on 76 24/7. Makes
yeah,
like
they
what? It's an
like
MMO game with a subscription. If you are getting a subscription amount of money, that money should be going toward a development team to be making things. They're not doing that. I'm telling you right
yeah,
now, they're not doing that at all.
like
It wouldn't have taken
okay,
6 years
so
for a map expansion to come out for an MMO game.
I'm
Jesus.
not trying to do any crazy comparisons here, but and this is like as well like a crazy studio. They make amazing games. Rockstar, like they have specific different studios and they have all of these teams. Like this is just as an example. Like they have a team for like they had a team for Red Dead, they have a team for GTA,
Oh
they
yeah,
have like all these different teams
dude, you
and they
can't
have different
compare
studios.
Rockstar.
Like
Rockstar is
I
in its
can't.
own world compared to
It's
Bethesda.
in it's in its own world. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying like I'm not trying to compare,
Yeah.
but like as an example, like
Oh, okay.
Bethesda could like at least try and like make these teams because like like we've seen these other studios like make this work
Yeah.
like so well. Like they I mean I'm pretty sure like most of their game development is like from like Rockstar North, but like they had a Red Dead team. They have all this stuff going on, and they improved their games. Not to mention, like it's not like an out of the world question in like all these like modern games. I don't know why they don't like do all of this.
I don't know. And they just need to be updating their current games more, like DLCs, stuff like that. Like they're working on too many random different things for zero reason. And I feel like the way for your game to be more successful is to work on your current games, get more content out that's at good, so you can keep getting more player base slash money, and then slowly be working on these new games. They shouldn't be working on new games straight out the rip all the time. I don't know. I feel like that's what they're doing. That's why everything's so behind.
Rockstar doesn't mass fire devs.
Like they were clearly low on money. I mean, eh, and but how did they come out? Like the Fallout show came out, right? It must have been pre-oriented or something, or pre-planned more
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Because
for
how
sure.
did it come out and they randomly started coming out with all this stuff? Like not even like what was it, 3 months later? Like
Yeah, it.
I don't know.
I think, and you know what's interesting too is all of the good stuff you see from quote unquote Bethesda is when another company steps in, like with like Fallout New Vegas, like with Fallout 3, like they were getting help from the like original Fallout devs at the time with like Fallout like 3, like when like Bethesda was in their golden era, they're getting the help from like all these devs. I mean, like they have like Doom, but that's also like just a shooter hack and slash. Just do all of these. Like that's a I mean pretty simple format. I mean they're great games, but like with like the Fallout show too. They were working with like directors, like, and they just took like handpicked a few people from Bethesda, and another company stepped in, and they actually made something good. I don't know. I think it's just Bethesda on their standalone is just. I don't know. I wouldn't say they're like incompetent, but they definitely don't know what
Well,
direction to
I
go
feel
in
like
when it comes
Bethesda
to
is more of like a like they are. It seems like Bethesda isn't the game developers; they're the engine developers. Because
yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's right on the money right there.
It is I gotta maybe we should look this up, but are they mainly just like an engineer creating company, or are they game developers as well? Does anybody know this? Because it feels like they always have another company doing the developing part, and then they just make the engine of the game, which they're making a new engine like every single freaking game, instead of work like doing like Unreal does slash Epic Games, which is the most biggest successful company in the world, by the way, by far. It's not even close. Uh, and doing what they do. Why didn't they just take their advice, or why didn't they just take what their advice of what they did and just make it their own, and make an engine that could be widely used and use that one engine to make their games?
Okay. So I looked it up. They seem like an engine developer, but ever since they released, like, or ever since the company was founded, it is a subsidiary to ZeniMax, obviously,
Uh huh.
but it's a video game developer, and they always self-publish their titles.
Hmm.
That's what they apparently have been since the beginning.
Hmm. Okay. See, that makes more freaking sense. That's what I thought. I don't know. I feel like they should rework their whole system. It just takes too long for them to make games. Way too long. And they're just not even good even after all those years. I mean, they had that mass firing they had. I mean, that didn't make any sense either. And it feels like most of their games are just AI generated now. Like 76 definitely had some AI going on with it, especially with the new map. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but you do not, as a game developer in $1 million company, you do not randomly make a tree built onto the side of a hill that grew sideways. Trees do not grow sideways on the side of a hill. Just letting everybody know that is not possible for them to grow at a 90-degree angle. You could tell they just placed it like up with a foliage tool, or it was a procedural generated thing. But
7 Days to Die to an extent. Oh, I've been saying that for a while now. That Fallout 76 just kind of seems like 7 Days to Die in like quite a few ways.
you see, I don't know much about 7 Days to Die, but it seems like they actually update their stuff pretty quickly compared to what 76 biggest sample have.
It took about 3 years to drop Fallout 76 after Fallout 4. So yeah, and they were rushed.
I
I
mean,
think they even said at some point.
I still liked the release of 76. I really did. But like the problem is not 76 of how it was created and how it was released. I think it was pretty good. But it's that they have not updated the game consistently at all and added no actual good content since then. It is an MMO game with a subscription.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when I'm saying that it just got rushed, that's what I'm not saying that like the release necessarily like hindered it at all, but it definitely put them a little bit behind with like the updates and the way that they looked at it after for some reason. I don't know what happened in their heads, but they decided, oh, we're gonna not update this as consistently, and we're gonna focus on something else, even though it's an online MMO.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that, uh like play console 76 should have never been added to console. It was not ready for console and it probably never will be personally.
Oh
Like an MMO first person shooter that's this big and massive, console will always have problems, guys. It will always have problems with 76. I think it's a great thing they could have did, but I feel like if they somehow made it crossplay, the problems would not have been as major. And this whole modding thing should have never been a thing. That's why they don't want to add it to crossplay. That's one of the reasons why, or whatever. Should have never been a thing. You should have never been able to mod the game in any aspect. Add-ons, yeah, sure. Add-ons make sense. They're always in MMOs, but not mod the game.
yeah. You just keep forgetting to hear the community, which makes the game great. Yeah, I think that is another. They just
Yeah, they
again.
don't listen to the community at all. Nothing they have made was community related. And I know they're going off West Virginia, which makes sense, but like you don't have like you could still add other things. It doesn't have to just be West Virginia oriented. It's a freaking post-apocalyptic nuclear game where radiation apparently causes things to do things that they doesn't normally do in real life. Like it's already fake. They have aliens beaming down from the sky. Just go at it. Just add something that's actually good.
Yeah,
Ay ay ay.
it's. I feel like they're just off in their own world. Hey, that's like a. I think like a large problem that a lot of companies have nowadays, though, is that they don't listen to their communities.
Not at
I'm
all.
not quite sure why. It's just I feel like they definitely see it too. Like, cause there'll be like a mass amount of people, like hundreds of thousands, if not even if it's like a massive game. Like for reference, I mean this is also kind of different too, but like Call of Duty, they'll never listen to the community ever.
Uh,
Um,
now
but
that
like
is a company that might be worse. We're not going to talk about them, but
yeah,
they are definitely
yeah,
worse than Bethesda.
yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying like for reference, like a ton of people, like definitely over like a million people want changes in Call of Duty, and like devs will like see these. Like, there's no way that like they couldn't, but they just choose to ignore them for some reason. It's not even it's because like, oh, this wouldn't make sense or anything like that. Like a lot of these people have been playing the games and studying everything in the games, and like some of them are even like game devs themselves, and they know like, oh, you can add this, or oh, like this would make sense in like the story. But like with Fallout 76, like a lot of people want all this stuff. I get like Fallout 76's lore is much more intricate than like Call of Duty's because it's like a whole timeline. But like people have been studying for so long and they don't listen to the community. They just choose not to. Call of Duty Bravo. But they just choose not to. And it's always so annoying. Like, oh, um it's sometimes so bad to a point that I'm like, oh, I'm about to just apply to this company and try and get on the board of directors and just fix these things myself. Like
Literally
it's
me.
so frustrating at times.
Literally me with
It's
Bethesda. I'm telling you, the things that I could
it's
do to this game in 76, it would be unheard of. I would make this the biggest. I'm telling you. I all the ideas in my head. I've just said a few. And like all of them, great ideas. I don't know. And they don't even like they could add new places to the map, add a quest line, but then you need to add like other vendors or something else to do. Why was there no new vendors added here either? No new gold bullion either?
oh god.
It made no sense. They didn't add anything. Why is there not a new vendor? Why is there not a new currency? Why is there not new anything? Made no sense. It was boring and dull.
You know, I think I this probably isn't really like a hot take or theory. I mean, I'm sure everyone thinks this. I think a lot of the reason why um like studios don't listen to the community is because they're scared that if they add that item, a lot of people won't like it for some odd reason, and they're scared of losing money because of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a thing because but being scared don't make no money. You know what I mean? Or what's the saying? Scared money don't make no money or whatever. It, and I think the new like someone in chat is talking about the next Fallout. The next Fallout should be in Hawaii. We already talked about this. Go watch the last Fallout. It's on my YouTube. It's pretty sick. Great ideas.
We should check it out.
Anyways, um, yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense being scared like that, especially when you're a $1 million company and you're doing all these layoffs. Like, technically, they could have six or. I've seen some crazy games made from 4 people. Okay, look at Lethal Company. That was made by one person.
Great example.
One
Great
person.
example.
Yeah, and he did that in like a couple, like 2 years by himself. Like
Yeah.
these are they have hundreds of people doing these. There is no excuse. Their team skills are terrible. Their their money handling is terrible, and it's been proven that's been terrible. Like ugh, this guy, I can't wait for him to step down. I hope he steps down soon, because clearly he's not right for the job, and he
And
hasn't been since Skyrim. Since Skyrim
and,
was the last one.
and about Lethal Company, think about it like this, guys. Think about it like this. The Zeekers started making games off of Roblox.
Yeah,
That's how they
Roblox is a
started
great
making
start.
games. It's a great start, don't get me wrong, but that's where he started. And he was able to make a game that outsold Call of Duty.
Yep, he's now a multimillionaire, and that's one guy, by the way. With all that money
And
he
it's
made, he could hire, take his time, and he could hire 3 more people. I'm telling you, it could lead to something great.
yeah,
Like,
and you know, another thing that's crazy that real shocker too is that for a while he did what he could by listening to the community and adding like of course like he's one person he
yeah,
added what he could in bones and he kept the game alive like real alive for like a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, the game isn't like died like necessarily like a ton of people still play it,
games will
but
always get dull. It just
he
happens.
managed to keep those numbers up for a long time just by listening to the community and adding what he could.
Well, modders mainly, other people, man, other people
Yeah.
kept it alive. Like that's another like they should have focused more on the community side, like everybody said, and myself. If they listened to the
Oh,
community more, they would be able to make more money and have better ideas and more people to help out. Some people, if if I was ever a game company, there is people that want to make art and stuff for a company just because they're fans. Use that art and use those ideas of your fans Like you don't even have to give them money. Maybe like give them a free copy of the game when it comes out. Use other people and like stop being stuck up. It feels like they're being stuck up about things. You can get help from other people that just want to help and make a good game, but they're just yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, like I remember there was one company. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there was a company at some point that hired modders for a game, and I think that's an excellent idea. Like that is an amazing idea. Like
Hmm.
if like these modders, they know how the game works. Like a lot of them like that make crazy mods. Like they know the game inside out. They know what they can do, what they can't do, with like the actual game itself, and like just hire them on. Like it's like, oh, you see this person with all this potential, like all of this like prowess to do like these crazy
I'd
things in the
hire
game, and
them.
they obviously have passion. Yeah, I would hire them on the spot. Like I'm making a game company, someone makes like a really good mod, I'd be like, hey, you want to work? Like you want to work for the company? And I mean, it's that easy. And also, they're probably going to be more inclined to add stuff from the community as well, because that's what the modder was doing beforehand.
Yeah, it would be sick. Also, someone's talking about Florida Fallout. That would actually be pretty sick. Dude, I've wanted Fallout Gators and stuff like that for a long time. That would be awesome.
Item creators to work on GTA. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I
Hire other game companies to work on your game.
yeah.
Dude, I have a million. I'm not even. If I had like the skills that they have, and I like, because I don't, I know I don't, but I have the ideas, man. Like, I'm telling you, I could just, like, even Rockstar, sure, they've never worked on a Fallout game, but those are some creative people. Bring other companies in. I don't know why. Like you could work together sometimes. They just want to keep the money and stuff. I get that, and whatever their assets, blah blah blah. Copywriting is the worst, most annoying thing that has ever been created in this world.
Yeah. I think, and back to like hiring people like that, that like have passion for projects. Like, so, are do you like Star Wars, Eccles?
Yes, I mean my. Have you
Okay.
not heard my alerts?
Oh yeah, I have. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, are you like deep into it? So,
yeah.
um, I don't know if everyone knows this fact. I mean, it's kind of a well-known fact, kind of isn't. That for the Mandalorian, they hired cosplayers to be the stormtroopers. They hired the 501st, the like they're I wouldn't say they're like professional cosplayers, but they just reached out to a bunch of cosplayers in the local
I mean, you
area,
don't have to be as a
and
stormtrooper.
yeah, but like, but like they hired the stormtroopers though, and they had them come on set, and they did great because they know how the franchise works. Like they have like all this stuff made, they know everything inside out. Like again, it's not like an insane thing to ask.
Yeah, it's really not an insane thing to ask at all. Like they need to do better with community communication. Like many people would love to help out. Doesn't we wouldn't even have to spend money. You wouldn't even have to pay him money most of the time. I mean, I don't know. Don't make no sense to me, man. Like the moment, like in my game personally that I'm working on, it's called Mycelium. You can check it out in my Discord bio. I have a Discord for it and everything. I haven't worked on it for a while, but my idea that I have alone is like amazing, and I would love to have the support that they have or have the fans that they have to make a game because I would be hiring everybody and asking everybody for help and just listening to everything my community says. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. The technology now is insane. Why are they not using some of Unreal Engine? Though most of those assets are free too. Like you could still use them in your own engine. I don't know. Like Unreal Engine is insane. Like it's insane.
Very interesting because I actually have some friends trying to learn it as well, just because they just want to use it for fun, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
hard to learn. It's like not like an insane
That's
learning
not
curve.
terrible at all. No.
Yeah.
Compared to Unity, I started on Unity. That's where I started. I made a battle royale game in Unity about 4 years ago, and it's never became multiplayer. I never set it up for that, but it's just two player battle royale in Unity. But yeah, Helldivers. That is a game that listens to their community. That was
That
the best community communication I've ever seen out of a game. Like
yeah,
that.
not to mention the whole thing they did with the like, oh, the entire community is working together and it actively changes the story as a populace. That was awesome to see.
It's crazy. The game, like the fact that every player can affect everything, and then like what they did, like they didn't care about the money. They straight up said, "Dude, we don't care that you guys take money from us. Like we care about you guys more than this BS that PlayStation's trying to pull." Which, by the way, if no one knows,
Yeah,
Sony is a just Sony basically tried to make you. They were low on funds. Like I'm not stupid. They were low on funds and they wanted to get your personal information submitted into the game so they could sell your personal information for money to potential other companies slash yeah, stuff like that. Like it's I'm not stupid. Facebook does it, Instagram does it, same company. Uh TikTok's done it. I mean, TikTok's a great company, but I mean, I literally, if you guys remember that lawsuit, like they've changed a lot. I mean, all these companies do that kind of stuff, and the fact that Helldivers like realized it and got that out, like changed that,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
great.
Didn't they say, oh, just if you don't like the idea of it, just refund the game, and we're trying
Yeah,
to
exactly.
figure it out right now.
Well, it's because they
And
they
like,
knew
we're
what they
doing
were
it.
doing. They're like, yeah, just refund the game, guys. Like this is ridiculous. But yeah, I got like $24 from that lawsuit years ago. This, God, that's been a while since the TikTok thing happened. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and like with Helldivers too, they didn't expect to make money. Helldivers 1 didn't make a whole lot of money. Like, and
yeah,
their
no,
peak
not at
player
all.
count wasn't even near what Helldivers 2 reached. And they got it, and I mean, they had some server problems, but they fixed those quickly because they're like, oh, the community needs more servers. We're going to put as much as we can into new servers.
Hmm. Well, I mean, those games are completely different. How do you cancel Fallout first, by the way? Anybody know? Select
Um,
a subscription. It's saying that I don't have it or something. Maybe I need to do this. Oh, cancel my subscription. I got it. Apply. There we go. I got it. I got it. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I lost track of what we were saying. What were you saying again?
um, oh, I was just talking about
Oh,
how,
Helldivers 1 and 2, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Helldivers 1 and 2, yeah.
two completely like they did they did not make much money, right? And they were able to
Yeah.
make that.
Yeah.
They didn't have
And
the
a lot of
funding
people
that
are,
Bethesda does.
and a lot of people say, oh, Helldivers 2, Game of the Year. Like, I mean, not I don't know people still necessarily think that, especially after the whole Sony thing, but I think most people realize that it was Sony's issue and not the creators of Helldivers. But um like people like they made this game and a lot of people are like, oh, this is Game of the Year contender for sure. This game's amazing.
Easily.
Like it's great.
You know what won't be game of the year or even considered?
What?
Skyline Valley update.
For sure.
Not even won't even
Fallout
be in a
70,
debate.
Fallout 76 is definitely not getting the Player's Choice Award.
Definitely not. uh, but Helldivers 2 came out this year, right? I think it was.
Yeah, it did come out this year.
Yeah, that'll be game of the year then, for sure. That had the highest player base in a very long time of any game has. I mean, they had a peak of Pal World had a pretty high peak too, but Helldivers had like 1.8 million or something crazy like that. That's insane. In Steam
Yep.
alone.
Okay, so this is quite a bit off topic, but we're talking about Game of the Year, like contenders, and it got me thinking about next year's contender and how GTA 6 is coming up. I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be Game of the Year for sure, but it
Well,
is
we're
a
talking about
very
this
hyped
year.
game. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it got me thinking.
Yeah.
So, again, with the whole and this also kind of comes back around to the whole hiring thing, but this is probably the last thing I'm going to touch on this personally. But whenever GTA 6, when all of the stuff got leaked, and they sue the kid and like everything for that. It was just a 17-year-old, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
or he's like 15. It was like some, and you know how he did it too? It's
disgusting.
crazy. He did it with, I'm pretty sure, a fire stick, like a USB stick, and he did it in a hotel room and he's on a court order to not use the internet, and he did it with a USB stick, and he did it somehow. I don't even know how. Like, he's a mastermind. He did it actually so well that apparently, I don't think it was the CIA. I'm not trying to like be like conspiracy, but I'm pretty sure at some point the government tried to say, "Hey, we could use you as a hacker of some sort. Like, we could use your skills," and he said no. And then that's when he went to court for it, and now he has Rockstar got him put into like what is it? Like a asylum or something for life, or
I don't
until
know,
the
but
doctors do necessarily.
who knows?
But
Who
like,
knows? I just Terry's talking about the Fallout show. I mean, the Fallout show was amazing, but that wasn't Bethesda that made it. Clearly, like if they made that show, there would have been like people would have been like frozen in time, stuff like that, you know.
you would have
And
had to
then
pay a
they would have had
subscription for
to,
no content.
yeah, they would have to cancel the show after a couple days and then fixed it. uh, but yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, not to change topic, but
I
yeah,
mean,
that's a little too out of, yeah.
yeah,
And I'm
topic,
not
but
sure how far we can talk about things like that. Oh no.
yeah,
Anyways, yeah, I really don't know. I just hope they come out with something. But
for sure.
let's just go back to talking about weapons. Why not? Enough dissing Fallout for now, but I will not be playing 76 for a while. You might still see me doing like 30-minute hour long streams doing dailies just to hang out with you guys. If it wasn't for me being able to play with you guys, I would have never even probably touched Fallout again personally. But I mean, it's still a great game just because you can play
Water
with other
gun.
people. I don't
Isn't
know.
the
We already have a water gun.
yeah, isn't there one already? Yeah.
We already have a water gun. It's I think some type of water that uses like high um think like flamethrower but water gun. It uses like because like a think about it like a pressure washer. You higher pressure
Mhm.
wash the water in such a small point and compress it that it's very powerful. Imagine you have like a freaking water gun. I don't even know. That feels a little boring. But like you can actually use like purified water or just any water really. And imagine you use like radioactive water, toxic water, and it does like more damage. It could be like different ammo types. It's a freaking yeah, a radiated pressure washer. Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah,
just
like a
shoots a
heavy
high
modded out
powered yeah,
pressure washer.
and you could have like I don't know, you could put you could put like junk in it or like pieces of rock to do extra damage. I don't even know. Yeah, like a junk launcher. Yeah, in the water system. I don't even know. Yeah, just a bloodied pressure washer. New meta. God, just every time I see bloodied mentioned now, I get tilted by how terrible these rolls are and how terribly done the legendary system is. Like it was such a good idea and concept, very unique, and they were just like crashed and burned. I thought for sure 4-star legendaries were gonna come out. Made zero sense that they didn't. But I don't know. I think like I was saying earlier, a plasma Fat Man would be sick. Like
Oh yeah.
on contact like grenades that shoots out or something.
Oh yeah, like kind of what they did in Fallout. What was it, Fallout New Vegas? That you could have different kind of ammo for
Yeah.
the Batman. Yeah.
See, that's what they need. But
like the
Laziness.
like the baby like mini nukes, the like the scatter rounds, where it kind of just does like smaller explosions around the area.
You think they would do a wipe? What do you mean for like the gun system? Plasma handmade? I don't know about. I don't know. I think plasma. I think they should have like. I think handmaids, since they're so customizable in the first place, should be able to use like different types of ammo. Like apply like because they have a freaking on like the enclave gun or whatever the plasma enclave. It could be a flamethrower. It could be a freaking rifle, shotgun, blah blah blah. I don't know. More customizability would be sick because they have all these guns that like what gun do I was I think talking about the other day that needs mods. Um I'm thinking there's a lot of guns that need more mods. Like shoot. Shoot. I can't think of the top of my head. Yeah, SMGs are terrible guns too. I think they need also. I think they should because SMGs have always been like notorious for having these insane fire rates, and they have such crappy fire rates in 76. And and there's no actual like build system for SMGs. What is SMG? Commando? Is that also Commando?
I think it's guerrilla, whatever it is, guerrilla.
Guerrilla warfare?
Yeah, yeah, that one. Under agility, I'm pretty sure.
Terrible. It is Commando. Oh well, shoot.
No, it is Commando too. Oh,
That's what I
didn't know
thought.
that.
I don't.
Rocket launcher weapon like in Fallout 3. Yeah, they added that in Fallout 3, and then they brought back like the junk jet in Fallout 4. But there's nothing like that in Fallout New Vegas, or not New Vegas, 76.
Yeah, but grenades need a buff too. Shotguns need a buff. Rifles need a buff. Single action rifles need a buff. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Who says that? Who says don't get it twisted? I think that's Tyler one that says that. Uh yeah, like those all those guns need a buff. Shotguns especially need a huge buff because it makes zero sense that they do that list of damage. Yeah.
A New Vegas Deathclaws versus 4. Um,
New
pretty
Vegas death
sure.
claws were a nightmare.
Yeah, pretty sure it's kind of. I think I brought this up in the last podcast, but we had that as a future question, didn't we? Or like, didn't you? For like your future.
I can't
So
remember.
I think it was the one I brought up where it was like designs liked about Fallout 3 in New Vegas versus like 4 and 76. Like, what do you like that's different? What do you like that's like, or what do you not like?
Hmm. I mean, we talked a lot about death claws. We talked about how they were made. We talked about how super mutants were made. We talked about how freaking centaurs were made. All that crap. And our podcast was I don't even remember. Oh, it was what type of new habitat slash environment. So that made more sense toward that topic. But I don't really care. We can go off topic 24/7 now. But I don't know. I think New Vegas death claws were insanely broken, of course, and were the most powerful uh thing by far in New Vegas. And then Fallout 4, they were like little babies pretty much. In 76, they were like toddlers in a way, except in the early game. But I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I think the design point was way different, but I think they actually looked better in Fallout 4 just by art
Yeah,
design
yeah,
style. But New Vegas had a very unique style as well.
yeah. I think there's a lot of design choices they made for better or for worse. Like it, like the Protectrons, for example. Like it was closed off. Like their whole thing was like closed off in 3 in New Vegas, I'm pretty sure, and then they made it like glass, see through in 4 and 76.
Hmm. I don't know. I just hope we get an underwater expansion. That would be sick.
I feel like pistols could use some love. Yeah, I think
Pistols,
any
rifles, even heavy
any
guns.
I feel like just any semi-auto weapon, especially,
Yep.
needs a lot of attention.
The railway rifle shoots way too fast and does way too much. It's just too good in every category. It is the most overall most broken gun just because it's better in everything. Everything. It's good in everything. Yeah. Yeah, I wish they kept the giant squid fight in Fallout 4. That would have been sick. And even the vault. They have an underwater vault that they were going to have. Completely wiped that out the system. In my MMO, going off topic, I am going to have a water fighting system, a sky fighting system, and an underwater system as well, because I want to have an entire coral reef that is overtaken by the virus, which is in my game. It's called Mycelium. But I just wish they did more kind of stuff like that. Like, why don't we have okay? Why don't jetpacks have a mod on them, like the 4-star mod? Just going off topic, the 4-star mob, the mod is you do more damage to flying units. Makes sense to me, right? I mean, I don't know. Just stuff like that, man. That would make a huge difference and actually add content to the game. Also, the Headhunter Scythe sucks, and that's why I'm not going to be playing the game for a while, because they completely ruined the season pass. It's the worst season pass ever. You can't have a map expansion and have...
Only good for the Adams and Bullion.
Yeah. Yeah, you cannot have a new expansion and all these like new things and then keep the weapon system / build system the exact fucking same. Jesus. What were you thinking? But yeah, I mean, we can only time will tell. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited to see. I think at the end of this podcast, guys, I am going to show my game a little bit. I don't know. I keep saying that, but I want to keep it under tabs as much as I can. But I'm like, maybe if I show my game around a little bit, it'll get me more motivated to start working on it again. But
yeah, show a little teaser.
Show a little teaser?
For sure. Yeah, show a little teaser of the game.
I'll show a little teaser. I'll show you guys the logo real quick. How about that?
I'm excited to see any content on it.
Yeah, the weapon was trash, Travis. It was trash. What? That was the worst 3 rolls in a weapon I have ever seen, and you cannot re-roll it? Are you serious? It is a season pass weapon. We have never had a prefix season pass weapon before. Jesus. Oh, gets me heated, man. That's why I closed the game earlier. I don't know if you guys were there. Yeah, you can't re-roll it. It is a prefix weapon. Yeah. Like, I completely closed the game the moment that I crafted it and seen that. And I
yeah, I'm definitely not grinding the season pass then.
It's terrible.
See, I just need to get on and I need to get my armor and everything rolled, and then I'm probably just done for a while. This game is too much. It's
There's nothing to
it's
do.
Much and not enough. Yeah.
There's nothing to do. We're gonna farm plans for these 2 new events that are permanent for a month, and then there's nothing to do. Nothing to do for these people. Like, they want to be more attractive to, like, you know, they want to be more attention toward the newer players, but the older players that have been paying for the subscription and kept your game alive this entire time are the people that are completely left in the dust with this kind of thing. They are going to unsubscribe and go somewhere else, and you're going to lose more money than you're going to gain with new players, because the new players are not going to buy Fallout First, okay? They're not going to buy it because they don't even know what it is. They've never even seen it or heard of it. The only time they hear of Fallout First or even like even think about it, is in the later stage of the game when you realize, oh man, Fallout First would be nice. So that's another thing. You need to have content for people that have been around since the beginning because they've been paying your Fallout First, because you're going to lose them. They're going to leave. Like I already did. I just unsubscribed. I'm not going to keep playing for Fallout First because there's no reason. Because I don't plan on playing the game if there's no new content. I expected this new update to have more, not whatever this was. It was
$15 to give to another dev that deserves it.
Exactly. I'm going to go buy some small indie game next month. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to look around and find another little small indie. Have you guys seen a game called Murky Divers? Dude, that game looks sick. Let me see if I can find it. Because they're doing a sponsorship thing right now, and I applied, and they denied me because I don't have enough average viewers. But I was sad when they did that. That would have been sick if I could have gotten that and played it on stream.
Murky Divers.
Yeah, it's called Murky Divers.
Oh, this game looks cool.
Oh, dude, it's sick. Think like Lethal Company, but underwater. It's exactly what it is. It's freaking sick.
So we have a Lethal Company where you go to moons. Well, or just like Lethal Company, you have one where you make content, and then there's going to be one where it's underwater.
Dang, they're out of keys already. Yeah, I mean, they got everything, but this one's sick. Like,
I think it's also. I think it is a very cool style of game, though.
Yeah, it's very unique. I'm excited to play it when it comes out. Yeah, I'm looking at the sponsorship right now because I go to a website called Lurkit. I can apply for certain keys in games and get them, but I have to have a certain amount of like average viewers, and I don't have it all close to what they want. They want 2,500 average views per YouTube video and then 50 average viewers on Twitch. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
But I don't know. At the end of the stream, at the end of the podcast, guys, I'm going to show you a little teaser of my game to the people that haven't seen it or not in my Discord for it. I'll show you the logo that we have created, and I will show you the starting areas and the stuff that I have made so far. Sorry, not the stuff that I have made, the stuff that I have teased already in videos and stuff like that. I can't actually find it. But I do have a Kickstarter page too. I'll just show you guys the Kickstarter page that I will be launching in the future. I already got approved and everything for a Kickstarter. Like, they looked over my stuff. I did all that. I actually need to change it because I have it set as alpha release in late August, early June. Or sorry, late August, early June, and that's definitely not happening because I haven't worked on it since. I almost have the starting area kind of done. Just the city, the main city that is to be. But I just haven't worked on it at all. I don't even have NPCs set up. Just guards. Guards are the only thing that I have made and situated. Nothing else. There's no actual quest line in the game. So definitely will not be ready in 2 months. Definitely not. Yeah, if you played Solid 76 solo, it'd be the most boring game ever. A lot of people would like complain about it being a multiplayer game. I'm like, that's what made it fun. That's what made it what it is today. And that's why they are missing out on so many potential ideas.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be completely honest, so when I actually did try Fallout 76 again, I bought the game, stayed away, terrible state. When I actually did try it, I played a little bit with friends. Amazing time playing with friends that time. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I was like, oh, I'll do a little bit of playing by myself, try and get a hang of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible. Terrible experience. And I was pretty low level. I didn't know what I was doing still. So going from not really knowing anything at that point to trying to, because I played the other Fallout games, I was like, oh, it's just another Fallout game. I'll try and figure all this out.
Not at all.
Terrible. It is terrible solo.
Yeah, dude, I did that for the first year that I played Fallout 76. I just ran around and, dude, I used to think like leveling was so hard too because I was only like level 46 after a year. because I didn't like play it full time. All I did was I would get around, I would get on, run around. Never actually did really the quest or anything. But no, it's not on my YouTube. I haven't even made any YouTube information on the game yet. But anyways,
Yeah.
sidetracked. Yeah, I just ran around and like just I had all the map locations, which apparently not. I thought I did. Dude, every day I get on Fallout 76, I find something new, which is one of my favorite things about the game for sure. But yeah,
I
it was
mean,
very confusing.
like I got to like level 40 first time I played it. Only reason this one guy took me to like Glass Cavern, I think it was,
Hmm.
and just like found a way to keep summoning the ghouls over and over.
Ha.
And
Yeah.
he just popped a ton of lunch boxes and just was like, just sit here and shoot a couple and just get levels. And I was like, okay, I got like 20 levels from that, and that was about my experience.
Sounds awesome. Let's get some very interesting experiences because of being multiplayer. Like, some very crazy things that have happened, and with
Like,
new players especially.
and what what I
Encounter, I
think
mean.
is what I think is like kind of saddening too is there's like, I mean, not every game obviously, but there's like some games out there that have like really good multiplayer and they listen to the community, but the community themselves is toxic
Toxic.
for
I
some
know that's
reason.
what you're gonna
It,
say.
yeah, and and so
uh,
but like Fallout 76, the community is great. The people are so sweet, they're nice, but the game itself and the devs, they don't work on it enough. So it's a great community
well,
mid game
this is what I want to say.
or mid state of the game.
These big games and people saying they have toxic communities, the reason why is because a big game will always seem more toxic than if it was, what's the word I'm thinking of? If it wasn't a big game. Like,
Oh yeah, it's just
because it's just
statistics.
more, yeah, statistically, people are just more, on the internet, people are just more likely to be jerks and be, want to have that, haha funny, I just messed with somebody on the internet kind of thing. So
Yeah,
that's why these big games always have these toxic communities.
like
And
I'm not sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you.
no, you're good. I was done. That's how I always finish my sentence.
No, so like I'm not like a kid that like plays a ton of GTA. I'm not like a GTA Online kid, you know, like one of those like people that are like toxic on GTA. Like I play it for fun. It's a fun online, right? They do add stuff like I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it's like great the stuff they add, but they at least try and add stuff to the game. They regularly update it. There's a lot of stuff to do in the game, but the community is one of the most toxic ones I've ever seen, like ever. And I don't know, like I can't, like if I'm on console, I mean, or on even on PC, like there's gonna be somebody running around on like the flying bike just blowing everyone up
There's
because
always
oh
somebody looking to ruin
it's
other people's
funny.
days. That's
Yeah, just for
exactly
no
how
reason.
cheating has always been.
I'm like I'll do a mission, I'm like having fun, I'm like vibing with my friends and we'll be all like goody goody. And then suddenly someone comes flying in, just starts killing us over and over. And next thing you know, we have to swap servers, we have to restart everything we did. It's a horrible experience.
Yep. The internet in a nutshell. There's always be people like that. And that's how a lot of these games died too. It's kind of crazy how a community can immediately make a game die. That's another thing that people don't realize. It really does just come down to luck sometimes. It really does.
Like this might be a little bit corny, but um me and another friend at some point, there was a time on Red Dead Online, because this was not necessarily in like its infancy, but kind of when it started getting more popular, there were so many people who would just grief other people in the game. So we tried to make it so we would just go and like try and like help out these low levels by getting rid of the griefers and trying to like get them off the server. So that way they don't ruin anyone else's day. Like
Mm.
I hate people like that. I mean, I guess in some games, I guess if you get like stuff out of it, like or you have to do it for something, you like do it once, like do what you need to do, and then just be done with it. But like, there's these people that'll get on every day and they decide, oh, it's time to just ruin people's day.
Yep.
I don't,
Yep.
I don't get that mindset
Yeah, I mean, like
like at
someone
all.
just said, if PvP wasn't optional in 76, it would be one of the most toxic communities for sure.
Oh yeah, oh
Easily,
yeah.
easily. And they
But
did
like
a
again,
terrible because they did a terrible job with it too. That would the way that they have it right now, and if it wasn't optional, it would be one of the most toxic games out right now, and it would be ruined. It would actually be ruined. I do
yeah,
think
like
a gladiator zone would be sick. I do agree. I think a PvP
yeah,
area
like an
would be
arena.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
because every MMO game kind of has a little all player or yeah, gladiator, just a gladiator zone. That's basically what they're called. Yeah, I wouldn't be playing either if it was like that. I would have never played it.
but yeah, like I don't know, like with the whole Red Dead thing. Again, this I know it's like Fallout podcast, so I'm getting really sidetracked, but like just like talking about like the communities and everything. Like I shouldn't have to try and like I want to be nice to people online. Like that's what I want to do. I want to help other people out. Like I want to be nice. I want to like try and help people out as much as I can. Like that is a great thing to do in my opinion. But I shouldn't have to get on Red Dead and practically make it my job on there that, oh, someone's grieving, I gotta help these people out, and like that shouldn't be an option in the first place. I mean, I'm gonna help them, but I shouldn't have to do that. Like I shouldn't have to be like, oh, I gotta like. I'm just saying like those people
Well,
shouldn't
that
be
makes the
doing that
game
so much,
more. I don't know how to like. I don't like
it
people
makes
like
it
that, but it does make it more entertaining in those moments
it does
sometimes, especially when you're on the
it does
winning
make it
side.
more entertaining. Like I would be lying if I said, "Oh, I'm hoping somebody starts griefing so I can just go and fight someone." Like
Yeah.
it's fun to do, but like
See, that's me.
it's
I'm that person.
yeah, like it's just like the fact that I have to do it every time I get on is just a
Yeah,
pain.
I would never ever play online. Only story.
Yeah,
That's it. Because
yeah.
I've seen like
I
that role playing stuff too. By golly, some crazy. It gets too. I don't know. People take stuff too far. They really do. You know who needs to take stuff too far though? Fallout 76 with their game developing. But anyways, guys, I hate to end it here, but I'm that was definitely the end there. That was a great way to end it on. Oh man, I did a good job there. Right guys, right?
oh yeah,
Came
amazing.
back in and oh my goodness. But yeah, I hope they add like more game modes to 76 too. I think Nuclear Winter needs brought back for sure. Just stuff like that. But I don't know, guys. I really think this might be the dying part of the game. Like I don't I hate to say it, and I'm really good at predicting things, but I don't think it's gonna get much better than this. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, guys, great podcast, very interesting, a lot of things going on. Thanks for joining me, Ramin, as always. It's nice having somebody to talk to in here. So
Yeah, no problem.
I'll show you
My bad, I was a little bit
guys.
late to the party.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'll show you guys my Kickstarter. I'll read it out to you, and we'll take a little gander at that. Let me see. I can't technically, in the terms of agreement for Kickstarter, I cannot show any of the information that I have personally wrote myself in here, but I can show you at least the icon and stuff like that. Not saying they own the game in any way, but just I can't show you the the Kickstarter stuff that I've wrote because it's in their contract thing, stuff that I've wrote. Unless I have launched the project, I cannot show the actual like rewards and stuff that you can get that I've added. I can kind of read them out to you though. Edit in basics. So some of the rewards I have set up for if you do, yeah, basically, Jilly, yeah. Some of the rewards I have set up in here is like if you donate if you pledge $100, I will give you early access to the game, cosmetics. If you give $1,000, you will get a physical in-game NPC in the game of your name. So whatever you want it to look like and whatever you want it to sound like, you could even be the voice actor for it. I will make you that in the game.
How much?
1,000.
Okay.
1,500. You will have a custom weapon in the game of your choice. It is an in-game weapon. You will have early access, and you will have an in-game cosmetic for yourself as well. And then $10,000. I just threw this one in. This one's insane because this basically makes you a part of a game. This one, you will get a custom in-game location / area of your choice. So if you want like a fountain, some random little fountain with your NPC there sitting in it with its feet hanging in, and you can just have this crazy like dialogue side quest, I will put that in the game for you and set it up. Advance, no problem. Yeah, but that is, and you will also get early access. You will get an in-game cosmetic for yourself, and you will get an in-game weapon for your character. Like your character, let's say he's dangling a feet in the fountain. He also has a spear of your choice that was created, and the spear will also be in the game to be collected as an item in the MMO. And then you have an in-game cosmetic that will be added to the shop as well. And no, you will not make commission off of it if people bought it, if it was like a in-game purchasable item. But it was just designed, and it'll have your name or the name of your choice as the name of the cosmetic. But yeah, that's just a little sneak peek, and I will quickly show you guys the icon of the game that I have created. Preview. We have detected inactivity. What are you talking about, TikTok? I'm literally here talking, man. I just had to verify myself. They thought I was inactive, man. They thought I wasn't here. One second, I'm trying to show this. Let me see if I can find it. I might still have it in my downloads because I don't want to show my screen right here. I got it. Okay. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, man. I'm out of text. I'm out of sources. Add image. Here it is. This is the in-game logo that I have created for the game right here. Favorite gun from the new update? None of them. They're all terrible.
That logo is awesome.
Thank you very much.
Cool.